Hey, welcome to The Explainer. You know, we all feel it, right? That constant pull of distraction in a world that just never seems to shut off. We all want to be more productive, more creative, and just, reach our full potential. But what if the key wasn't about willpower or trying harder? What if it was about something we do like 25,000 times a day without even thinking about it? Okay, let's dive into this.
So, picture this. You've got two of the most successful people on the entire planet, Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. And they're asked, separately, for the one-word secret to their success. You'd think they'd have different answers, right? Nope. They both gave the exact same one, focus. When something like that happens, you really got to pay attention. It's the essential ingredient for getting ahead in, well, anything.
And yeah, that's the real question, isn't it? It's one thing to know focus is important, but actually getting it, man, that can feel like a constant battle against notifications, that endless chatter in our own heads, and our minds just wanting to wander off. So, how do we actually train this mental muscle?
Well, the answer, it turns out, is a lot simpler than you'd probably imagine. And here's the best part, it has nothing to do with being lazy or not having enough willpower. The secret isn't a moral failing, it's physiological. It's in something we do all day long, but most of us have kind of forgotten how to do it right.
You know, Patrick McKeown, the author of the book we're drawing from, he struggled for years with terrible concentration. He tried everything. And then one day, he just stumbled across this little newspaper article that completely changed his life. It turns out, the secret to his focus, to getting deep sleep, to being more creative, it wasn't in his head, it was in his breath.
So, what's actually happening here? What's the deal with our breath? Well, the core problem is that the way most of us breathe is literally starving our brains of what they need to work at their best. It's like there's a physiological traffic jam happening inside our own bodies, and we don't even know it.
Okay, get this. The difference between breathing through your nose versus your mouth is just staggering. Our noses are these incredible high-tech filters that perform over 30, that's 30, vital functions. And one of the most important is releasing a gas called nitric oxide, which is crucial for opening up our blood vessels. When you breathe through your mouth, you bypass all of that. It's like using a broken tool for the most important job in your body.
And here's the real cost of getting this wrong. Habitual overbreathing, which usually happens when we mouth breathe, can reduce blood flow to your brain by a staggering 40%. Just let that sink in for a second. You could be operating at a massive cognitive deficit, not because you're not smart, but simply because of how you breathe.
So here's that traffic jam we talked about. When you overbreathe, you blow off too much carbon dioxide. And I know, we're all taught to think of CO2 as just a waste product, something to get rid of. But actually, it's the key that unlocks oxygen from your blood cells so your body can use it. Without enough CO2, the blood vessels going to your brain actually constrict, so the oxygen is there, but it can't get where it needs to go. And the result? Brain fog and zero focus.
And this just creates a vicious downward spiral. Bad breathing during the day leads to bad breathing at night. That means you get poor quality sleep. And when you don't get that deep restorative sleep, your brain can't do its nightly cleanup job. It's like never defragging your computer's hard drive. So you wake up feeling foggy, with more mental chatter, which, you guessed it, just leads to more dysfunctional breathing. It's a tough cycle to break.
Okay, so that's the problem. But how do you know if this is actually your problem? The good news is there's a super simple, really powerful way to check out your own breathing habits, and you can do it right now.
All right, this is where you get to play scientist. We're going to use something called the Body Oxygen Level Test, or BOLT score for short. Now, this isn't a test of how long you can hold your breath or your willpower. It's just a simple measurement of how well your body tolerates carbon dioxide, which is a fantastic indicator of how efficient your breathing really is.
Okay, here's exactly what you do. First, just sit quietly for a minute or two. Then, take a normal, silent breath in through your nose and a normal, silent breath out through your nose. After you breathe out, gently pinch your nose and start a timer. Now, just hold it until you feel that first definite desire to breathe again. Not until you're gasping, just that first little nudge from your body. That's it. That time, in seconds, is your BOLT score. So what's your number?
What does it mean? Well, if you scored over 25 seconds, that's great. Your breathing is likely pretty functional, which helps you stay calm and resilient. If you are between 15 and 25 seconds, there's definitely room for improvement. You might find that you get breathless easily or are easily distracted. And if your score was below 15 seconds, your breathing might be dysfunctional, making deep concentration a real challenge.
So you have your score. Now what? Well, here's the great news. No matter what your number is, you can improve it. And when you do, you start to unlock your brain's true potential. And it all comes down to 3 really simple principles.
The 3 pillars of healthy, functional breathing are to breathe light, slow, and deep. Breathing light, and we'll get into this, is what improves oxygen delivery. Breathing slow is what calms your nervous system but keeps you alert. And breathing deep, which means using your diaphragm, directly engages the parts of your brain that are responsible for attention. Okay, this is the part where we have to unlearn something we've been told our whole lives. Take a big deep breath to relax. The science actually shows the opposite is true. By breathing less air, what we call breathing light, we actually increase our body's tolerance to CO2. And remember that CO2 is the key that unlocks the oxygen for our brain. It sounds crazy, but less air in means more oxygen delivered.
And this is exactly why just switching to breathing through your nose is such a powerful biohack. It's like a built-in superpower. It automatically calms you down by stimulating something called the vagus nerve, it improves your attention by making you use your diaphragm, and it boosts blood flow to your brain with that magic molecule nitric oxide. All of that just by closing your mouth.
So let's just put all the pieces together here. You can probably see it now. A clear path from where you might be right now, feeling distracted and foggy, to where you want to be. It's a powerful chain reaction that starts with the ridiculously simple act of breathing.
It honestly is this simple. Better breathing leads to better sleep. Better sleep allows your brain to actually rest, recover, and clean itself out. And that recovery leads directly to better focus, more creativity, and a much calmer mind. We're not just talking about having a better workday here, we're talking about having a better life.
This quote from the great yoga master BKS Iyengar it perfectly captures everything we've been talking about. We spend so much time trying to wrestle our racing minds into submission, you know? But the whole time, the real control lever has been right there, right under our noses.
So at the end of the day, your ability to focus, to create, to perform at your absolute best, it isn't some fixed trait that you were just born with. It is directly tied to the simple, quiet, rhythmic act of breathing. So the only real question left is, are you ready to unlock it?